Haiku. When the wind calls in the redwoods, the trees dance without moving their feet. The Zeta's prayer. Zeta is a Yiddish or Jewish for Hebrew for grandpa. I wrote this 2 months before my first grandson was born. I was on the top of Mount Tam. As the hand stretches across 2 generations, all the extinguished lights of the past nestle up inside a beard and wink out as skippers. Between butterfly and moth is skipper. And wink out as skippers settling on the rock of Mount Tamalpais, that wisest and most beautiful princess who looks first to the east, Sierras shrouded over 100 miles away, a mere stone skip to the west, the Farallones, and further still to Hawaii homeland, and beyond to the Philippines, and finally to China, a bridge to Asia. Who can say when the first human will unbuckle Orion's belt or play Ring Around the Rosie, surfing Saturn's dust? It may be you, my child. May your descendants' feet ever levitate above the desert sands. May your carpet ride the harshest winds as if they were mighty clouds of joy. May the ancient glaciers fill your cup with water sweet as wine. May the Indian paintbrush dab your vision with floral prints and hummingbirds' laughter. I think that one happened. May the love of your life be braided like lapis lazuli, stone captured, sparkling the deepest ocean blue with gold. Scarab steers its walnut half shell down a seasonal California rill, stopping occasionally at a chanting chanterelle to marvel at a small sun erupting through the earth. For Isaiah. Ghost. Okay, thank you. Horse Ghosts, April 13th, 2002. I ride you, horse ghosts, through the gates in my dreams, on the shores of the Pacific, Half Moon Bay last year, on the sands of Cape Cod at the Atlantic. I galloped 50 years ago. Your whinnying long since stopped. You kissed my dear departed son on the top of his head as he passed by you, sweet mare. I drew your picture onto a clay mug at the birth of my sister's first child. Nay, it's true. I cleaned your stalls 20 years ago. Today, I hauled 50 yards of your chips with sawdust off in my big truck, dumped in by a loader twice my size. You bit me when I didn't hold that sweetmeat flat in the palm of my hand. I cantered toward the Front Range in Parker, Colorado, petrified wood scattering under your feet on those times of sand. My father on horseback climbing the Napa Hills, snorting and stomping down Bear Gulch Road to Oak Knoll, and the Fonfon eyes as wild as you kick up your heels. Pictures, freeze frames, born in the year of a horse, you travel well. I see. I walked into R&L's Pizza on Shattuck in Berkeley, mirrors and sequence on either side of me, reflecting multiplicity into blur, fade, but one of the mirrors was a funhouse disturbed vision, and there, 6 mirrors deep, a shadow that was not reflected on the opposite wall. It moved, disappeared. But not before I had quicksilvered 6 deep behind the frozen gelatinous edge, skimmed the surface, scratched the face, cracked, shattered kaleidoscope into hexagonal hives, rash, ill-advised, shadow resolved into translucent homunculus, No facial features, no creases, no joint divisions, nothing but a vague outline waiting to slither octopus-like into a different cuticle, shavings dropped to the floor, suction pulled under the sill, then footsteps behind the door. One a foot, the other a peg leg, splinters, shatters, glass breaks, crashes to the ground. I shake my head, stars disappear, open my eyes. Where am I? Oh yes, extra trees, hold the pepperoni. Okay, this I read last April, and I opened for John Santos, the great local world-class conguero, at his show, The Freight and Salvage. So I read it again. On the diagonal, augury, the giant screw that seeks by twisting into the world. The Roman practice of predicting the future by eviscerating the entrails of birds. Typical European white man stupidity. All animals eliminate, even plants drop leaves. They would have done better to watch living birds and their habits instead of killing them to observe their shit. Beware the Ides of March. A great extinction is in progress. Bird numbers have dropped precipitously. Audubon was a genius, also a braggart, a master draftsman, wanderer in the best American tradition, and a faithful husband, spending long periods away from his wife, a naturalist who killed birds. And he may also have had slaves. That wasn't in that book. In Doonesbury, Jeremy Cavendish, erstwhile caretaker to Lacey, an ex-senator, a dementing senior, has a heart attack, Jeremy does, while photographing the last Bachman's warbler on an East Coast native, which has gone extinct in our lifetime. Murder and greed, these are the two underpinnings of the American dream. Diversity is the obverse of these two factors. It enables life to be resilient and engaging in the face of adversity. It is not until now that the lumber industry has been shown to be greedy in murdering trees for profit without the balance of self-sustenance. Italo Calvino, the baron in the trees. Centuries ago, the baron could cross Italy by tree, sea to sea, east to west, never touching the ground. No forest there at all in central Italy now. Isaac Asimov's first law of robotics: do no harm to human beings. Enter drones. Sorry. However, there is an elephant in the room. Enter drones. And the world's most potent murder incorporated, the Central Intelligence Agency, with drones used through their international cat's paws, murdering children. Oh, excuse me, I mean collateral damage at funerals and weddings, accountable to no one, funded by US taxpayers' dollars, all of us. The real deep state, which spawns the current Pandora's box of vitriol and hate, and cannot be closed once opened. Their list of ongoing violent conflicts and oppressive dictators, past and present, stretches worldwide. When Malcolm X said, "The chickens have come home to roost," he was referring to JFK's murder. Who considered disbanding the CIA after the Bay of Pigs fiasco in Cuba. COVID, bad science gone wrong in China, pointing fingers at China does not address the problem. It's like closing the barn door after the horse has galloped off. White privilege. The 45th president. COVID, oh, it's nothing. It will go away. Hate and greed, nourished by fear. Green and Brobert, loose cannons, out of control, out of touch, victims of abuse propelling their own disease to others. 3-year-olds stamping a fee. In Brazil, diversity has integrated all the people, and politically they threw out their look-alike to our 45th. United Snakes, take note, for it is coming to a theater near you. In just one more generation, the alt-right is constantly using murder as a threat. They also adore suicide. These are species enders, extinctions. The human animal is the most dangerous being on the planet, but they have no real working overview of community, no viable plan. Privilege, greed come first. And also see the killers of the
Flower moon. Flower moon.
killers of the flower moon. Same thing. They are also their own worst enemy. They constantly splinter over who's in charge. Christianity and all its denominations, all religions stuck in dogma. Trump versus DeSantis, US presidents own slaves. All women are created equal. They vote. They have a say in how democracies are run. They have removed their niqabs. Their wombs are sacred. It's from where we all emerge. There are 10,000 distinct species of birds in the world right now, each one on a different lifeline. They have their differences, but they manage to live together. See if you can respect that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just getting started here. This one is for Avacha. This is the one I found this finally today. She really likes this one. It's called Hauling Ash. So I drove a truck for 18 years. Return of the 4 a.m. truck driver, 9 years of complete subjugation, obedience to every whim suggestion of a fickle road offering adventure and travel at a very cheap and desperate price. Selling your soul to concrete, gravel, and rebar in return for very little sleep, no social life, the right to retrieve garbage, pressure to deliver the goods on time while operating a lethal vehicle. Dump truck equals all the symbolism of unload and reload, shit and eat. Driving cross country in a vehicle which basically never stops. Eating paste, I mean potatoes mashed, really? More like thick soup which has been steam table reheated at least 5 times. You think it's warm in California? Not at 4 in the morning, 12 feet up in the air, dropping a hook at the end of a chain through wire mesh grid. Think of it as heavy sewing, which if you try for more than half an hour, your fingers start to numb. It helps if your mandatory health insurance takes 20% off the top and your boss is either a stone cold racist, the local familia, or a short, older black man who could rebuild the engine yet constantly shortchanges you because addition and subtraction are beyond his ken. If you are unaware of the exact route and your load is too high, you can either get stuck under an overpass, like what happened at Gilman, stuck under an overpass, or tear out the roof of some filling station, which I almost did. Winter options in a tractor trailer include looking to either side and watching your trailer still attached precede you down the road, or following the taillights in front of you in a heavy fog on Route 99 in the valley until someone stops suddenly, at which point everyone stops suddenly. Hazardous materials can be delivered or removed from Rocky Flats, Colorado, or new building materials can be brought to existing nuclear power plants in California, which lend themselves to a certain glow. Make sure your no-fault insurance is paid up. Driving with cracked wheel rims, worn studs, faulty or flaming brakes are all frowned upon by the California Highway Patrol. You'll notice that on some tractors accustomed to hauling rebar, there is a steel wall directly behind the cab. This is to prevent inept crane operators from impaling you with a product as they attempt to remove it from the trailer. That only almost happened once. Here are some other fun chores you might want to try. Running out of fuel in a diesel engine right where Route 580 branches to 2 lanes to become Route 80 at rush hour. Having the airline on your transfer, this happened. That's a dump truck double. Spring a leak at 5 in the morning on San Mateo Ridge, which immediately causes the brakes to lock on the rear unit so you can jerry-rig it with whatever sticky substance and duct tape you have available, limp off the bridge, and wait for assistance. Drive the boss's truck across the Bay Bridge in the morning. Commute. As the transmission linkage gets loose, leaving you only one of your 18 gears, fully loaded, make it through 7 traffic lights. Stopping means you won't start again. Arrive at the work site to be unloaded while you call the boss and relate to him that he didn't notify you of all his vehicle's idiosyncrasies. 4, stay completely unaware of the fact that your dispatcher, is shortchanging the owner of your refrigerator truck. These were the Sikhs. Wait for 9 hours in Nogales to get loaded with broccoli packed in ice, and when you back up to the loading dock, get yelled at and asked, where the hell you been? Extra credit can be earned by getting a flat tire, driving onto the scale in Georgia, 11:30 p.m. Friday night, loaded with frozen chickens, taking curves a little too fast, causing third-class mail bound for Houston, Dallas, and LA, divided flimsily by separators to mix together, getting stuck in a snowbank in Albany, New York, and shoveling out by hand, or dumping hot asphalt onto the ground instead of into the paving machine, pushing you along in low gear, foot on the brake, ever so lightly to maintain contact. It stops, you keep rolling, and finally, for the premature ejaculators in the group, there is an art to simultaneously accelerating gradually from a standstill while hydraulically lifting the bed, opening the tailgate, and evenly spreading your load in motion, making it easier for your partner, not dumping it suddenly, all in one place. Forklift is your friend, unless you forgot to turn it off when dismounting to the ground to adjust whatever you're picking up, which is how one single father of a 7-year-old girl managed to run over and kill himself. Another night operator, unloading the freight car still on the rails in the shed in Fremont, found himself impaled to the wall through the stomach until the morning shift arrived. He didn't put the brake on. Albertsons wisely saved money compared to Safeway by not hiring anyone or any forklifts to download trucks. They generously left pallet jacks for the trucker to do work for which he is not paid during a time span when he is expected elsewhere. P.S. Minimum tow for a disabled big rig is $500. That's falling ash. Really? Okay.
Well
Yeah,
done.
well, I'm not gonna get to a lot of stuff. We're gonna skip the vacuum demon. Less than 3 minutes, okay. Clouds, breath of the bay, clouds rolling over the bay. Seasons just changing my day. Evenings are long, caressing my song sweetly. Sunsets are fading through orange or pink, taking my breath away. Sounds of the ocean arise, boarding the wave of surprise. Beat of my heart, you're lying there sweetly. Mount Tamalpais, sweet princess awakes, taking my breath away. I see your smile when I close my eyes, taking my breath away. Then the sax solo, sorry, apologies. Stars fill the cool evening sky. Birds on a breeze pass me by. I'm in a trance, silhouettes dance sweetly. Twilight's embracing the end of the day, taking my breath away. I see your smile when I close my eyes, taking my breath away. Golden Gate fog surrounds Angel Isle, taking my breath away. That's a slightly shortened version. Oh, I'm not gonna get through the, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get through the jazz. This is too long, too bad, I'll read it another time. Jazz is jam and jam is rhythm, rocking around the clock, get with it. Okay, that's the start, that's all you get.
Well, that's great.
Wait, I'm not done, I'm not
Okay, I
done.
thought you were saying you were finished there. Go ahead. I'm muting
Okay,
me.
last but not least, today's poetry, what I wrote today. What I wrote today.
Woohoo!
What?
Yeah, you can actually
That's fine,
sing.
right, that's fine. Okay, first, well, I was gonna end with a haiku, I'll end with it, I'll do that now. Chanterelle Hunt, itch. 77, poison oak, neuropathy, bad combination. Okay. Body of work is an onion skin, paper thin, golden brown, ever expanding. Body of work is a catalyst bringing together unlikely, disparate human elements to cooperate and do the job. Body of work is another As an anther, a stamen, a pistil, amelioration. Body of work is a consciously slowed heartbeat. Intuition, hint is just enough. Body of work is a parent letting a child make its own decisions. Body of work is a fruit salad with 7 different nuts, 2 different seeds, all slightly roasted, stirred into fresh cut pieces of apple, pear, ginger, fig, papaya, mango, pineapple, pomegranate, guava, avocado, with banana, prunes, persimmon, orange, grapefruit, optional on the side. Body of work is a rose perfume, lemon verbena hanging in a room, peppermint licorice coating your throat, comfrey kneading your bones. I'll just cut to the last. I'll cut to the denouement. Okay, 2 more. Body of work is a chanterelle turning dirt to liquid during a gentle rain, then shedding it or absorbing it. Body of work is beauty, intelligence, erotica, all rolled into one jumpsuit. Woo!
Unmute, ladies and gentlemen, and let them know.
What fun.
Awesome. Yes, thank you.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
Abacha, did you catch the trucker one? I did that for you.
Yeah, I just thanked you. I love that poem. I was going to ask for it, but I figured you won't do it so long. But
Yeah, I finally found it again.
it's a masterpiece.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Thanks for the invitation. It was good.